morning. My name is Nora Bird, and I'm a member of this congregation. Michaela will light our chalice this morning. Please join me in our chalice lighting words found in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create loving community.
Our story this morning is unpublished, written by a colleague of mine, the Reverend Molly Hausch-Gordon. And I'll tell you in a minute. She wrote this story because when her eldest child was about 4 or 5, Nora came to her and said, "What happens after we die?" Oh my God, her daughter's name is Nora. And asked her what happens after we die. Molly was raised Unitarian Universalist, and so when she asked her parents, they said to her, "What do you think?" While she appreciated the open-mindedness of her parents, she wanted an image more comforting and beautiful to pass to her own children. Dance together, spin apart. One night, a thoughtful child came to lie down on the ground, to stare up at the stars above and see what might be found.
She asked the wisest one she knew beside her on the earth to tell her what they could about the truths of death and birth.
I wonder where we were before, and also what comes next. I know it's all a mystery, but can you take a guess?
The wise one looked up at the moon and kissed the child's head and thought a while on where to start. And this is what they said.
Inside a single blade of grass, a drop of shining dew, in gleaming wings of butterflies and stars, in me, in you, are tiny things called particles that bounce and twist and spin. They dance together for a while and then move apart again.
These subatomic particles are tiny, teensy, small. They're little bits of energy. You can't see them at all. They dance from life to life and move from rock to star to tree. They spin and bounce in everything. They're wild and small and free.
One day, some leaping particles made something sparkly new. They joined in joy and hope and love. Together, they made you. You could be made of silver moon or lion's fearsome roar. Your heart is made of particles that thump and bump and soar.
In your left thumb, there may be some that once could jump or fly, and maybe those inside your nose that thump. Oh, and maybe those inside your nose once hopped up to the sky.
The tiny parts that make you up, your skin and insides too, were once a part of everything, and now it's all in you.
While we're alive, those parts will stay together, snug and tight. They'll keep us dancing as ourselves each day and through the night.
And later, when the dance is done, we come to our last day, and all the parts that made us up will float and spin away.
When people die and flowers fade, returning to the earth will be a part of everything, just like before our birth.
Some parts of us may hug the earth, some parts may reach the sky, some parts may fly with hummingbirds and breathe in loved ones' sighs.
So while we're here, we lie in grass and marvel at the dew. We stroke the wings of butterflies and gaze up skyward too.
We dance together with the clouds, the flowers, and the sea. We cuddle with the ones we love and hug the big oak tree.
And when we lie down on the earth and stare up at the stars, we know we're seeing all the things we were, will be, and are.
This world is changing all the time, from star to grass to you, but nothing here is ever lost. The dancing sees us through. The end. Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, where today we contemplate death. I'm the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, and I'm the minister of this congregation. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we're interconnected, no one's free until we all are free. So we strive to create beloved community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday with us, we are stronger because you are here. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We're all growing, all learning, and all loved. Our ministry team here at UUCG is Cindy Dillard, our Director of Children's and Youth Ministry, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, me, and our newly hired Music Director, Colin McCrae. Colin, we're so happy you're here. We're also honored to have Sarah Kennedy with us as a guest musician today as well. Sarah is singing also in the choir, so she's doing like triple duty today. Will you please silence your cell phones and raise your voices in our church covenant?
A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living, holding ourselves to these holy aspirations. Will you join me in our church covenant? We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to promote a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest. Speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love, thereby maintaining emotional, physical, and spiritual safety for all. Support UUCG and denominational efforts with our resources. Combat injustice while promoting equality. Nurture our children on their spiritual journey. Hold ourselves to this covenant, especially during times of conflict and disagreement. Please join with me for the opening hymn. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn number 15, The Lone Wild Bird.
you're joining us in the sanctuary, won't you wave hello to everyone joining us online? If you're online, go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat, and if you're in person, let's greet our neighbors. How beautiful it is to be together. We gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living, in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, in the knowledge that we are powerfully and profoundly connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these few minutes of silence, you can focus on something you're grateful for, someone you're remembering especially today, or just the sensation of your chair supporting you. Will you find the most comfortable place in your seat and take a few easy breaths at your own pace as we settle into our silence together. what echoes in your heart. You're invited to offer it up to the holy and lay it down in community in our sacred time together. If you're online, this is your time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone you'd like added to our prayers, you can fill out a yellow card, which the ushers will collect. If there's a joy on your heart, place a plant from our grounds in the vase, and if a sorrow, place a stone in the bowl. You can light a candle of prayer and presence for someone you're holding close to you. In addition, today, if you've brought a picture of someone you love who has died, you can bring it up to the altar. If you forgot your picture, you can do what I'm going to do, which is I will bring up a picture on my phone, and then I will put my phone on the altar. So you can do that too. If you're not sure how you're feeling, or maybe you're a little fidgety, we have pipe cleaners in the back, mandalas to color, or you may have brought your own needlework, which you can feel free to do. In church, we practice becoming more fully human. This is our time to take stock of how we are arriving here and to take what we need, knowing the table is set for us all. Will you join me in prayer and presence? We name aloud or in the chat those people on our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Bathed in silence and song, we offer our joys and sorrows alike, knowing they are woven fine. Rebecca Kay is remembering all those trapped in the difficult in-between of dementia and Alzheimer's, like Michael's mother, Barbara Black. Her body lives, but her spark has left us. She no longer recognizes her closest loved ones. Rebecca, our prayers of compassion are with you and your family. Tishgun grieves for Henry, their cat, who has been gone a month. Tish, our prayers are with you. Susan Hill is getting a new right knee tomorrow. Our prayers of healing are with you, and then after that, our prayers of joy. John Reardon is excited. Today is the first service. My toddler Ezra will be joining us, albeit in the nursery. Prayers of joy and gratitude with you, John, and with Ezra, welcoming Ezra into our community. Remy says, yesterday was my dad Braxton's birthday. Happy birthday, Braxton. We love you so much. Prayers of joy and gratitude for your life and your presence with us. Chad Robinette says, today we are celebrating Justin's 13th, 25th birthday. Happy birthday, Justin. Our prayers of joy and gratitude for your life and your presence here. Spirit of life and love, God of many names and beyond all naming, source of all. In our joys and sorrows, we hear loudly our love of living. They say that you die twice. First, when your breath leaves your body, and second, when someone speaks your name for the last time. And those truths sometimes haunt us. But something else is true, just as true. The law of conservation of mass. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. When we are gone and when those we love are gone, we all return to the oneness from which we came. Never truly gone and never subject to the illusion of separation again. For the terror and the uncertainty that hangs over us, for the peace surprising that is given us, for the love that fills our hearts and sometimes pours out of our eyes, we give thanks. We ask these things for ourselves, for those we love, and for those we do not yet love. Amen.
Circle circle.
We invite our children and youth to the RE Wing for snack, story, and community building through play and art. is Sisyphus? Who is that? What did he do? He rolled the rock. Yeah, he rolled the rock up the mountain. Why? Because it was falling down. As a punishment. Yeah, a punishment for what? What did he do that got him punished?
He was like arrogant or something. He was like the god.
Yeah. Probably he made the gods mad. You know, if you know anything about Greek mythology, it's like probably he made the gods mad. Why? Sisyphus cheated death. Sisyphus was the first king of Corinth, and he cheated death twice. He dies, he goes to the underworld, he captures Thanatos, the personification of death, and chains him up, and no one is able to die until the god Ares comes to resolve the problem, and death could go about his natural work. He then gets old, again, I guess. He dies again. He persuades Hades to let him out because his wife was not providing the offerings and sacrifices customary upon someone's death, especially the death of a king. So he persuades Hades to let him out, saying that if you let me go, I'll go back to my wife and I'll make sure that she sends you your sacrifices and your offerings. Hades releases him. He does not send sacrifices and offerings. He dies a third time, and Zeus intervenes, making sure he stays dead forever. And his punishment is difficult and also boring. He rolls a rock up a hill forever, and when it gets to the top, it rolls to the bottom, and he does it again. A friend was telling me recently about raking his leaves. I don't really have to explain that, but I guess I will. So he raked his leaves and he bagged them and he did the stuff the city says you're supposed to do, and after work the next day, his yard looked exactly the same, covered in leaves. My friend Sisyphus with a rake. We bag up and rake up our contemplations of death like that sometimes, I think. We rake them and we bag them, we transport them, we hide them away, and then, and very soon, here they are again, covering the grass. A foolish and impossible dodge of the crunch and press of mortality. Our death-denying culture produces both mass death and misery on a societal level and a personal one. Brian Johnson is a tech billionaire who was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to infuse 1 liter of his teenage son's blood into his own body per month to forestall aging. See a lot of you going, ugh. Okay, this guy is 45, and he looks terrifying. I was looking up his name, so I remembered the story to tell you, but I forgot what his name was, so I was trying to find out how to tell you about him. And so I Googled, I typed in tech guy into my Google search bar, and the Google search bar filled in tech guy blood son. What a terrible legacy. I don't know his son's name. I don't know actually why he's a billionaire. I don't know like what he did for a job or what he invented, if he invented something. Or the only thing I know about this guy is his terror of aging and the resource-heavy and rather creepy way he's going about trying to forestall death. I wonder if he enjoys his days. these wild, odd, and sometimes funny pursuits to forestall death and aging, the denial of the ultimate truth of them, put us out of step with the realities that do actually unite us all. There is no secret to living. There is no secret to living longer. There's no secret to living longer, even if someone's selling it to you. Maybe especially if someone's selling it to you. You may decide you want to care for yourself because you wish to extend compassion to all beings, and you're not an exception. You may decide you want to care for yourself because you love your life and you want to be with the people you love for as long as you can. But do not be fooled by the promises of miracle cures, except the one great miracle, which is that we live at all. Your life is not a math problem where you add up all the years you wish to live and then you subtract all of your pleasures. There is no cure for being human and no calculation that will give you the control you may long for. There are likelihoods, but there are no guarantees. So do not live by any except for this one. One day, death will come for you, and you will return to all that is, never subject to the illusion of separateness again. And the days between now and that day, whatever their number, may as well be sweet, and may as well leave a legacy of sweetness in their wake. After the death of a loved one, have you ever thought, how long until I don't feel this terrible again? Have you ever thought, will I ever get over this? Will my heart ever stop aching? I have a high school friend who once Googled how many months per year of relationship will I grieve. At the end of a breakup, a several-year-long relationship, she's like looking for the equation, like how long, if I was with him for 3 years, how long am I going to be sad for? But you get why. I mean, have you thought, like, how long until I will be able to face the day again? How long until I'll function again? Or maybe even terribly, how long until I get over it? How long until I move on? If you think of time as a long march, greater and greater distance comes between you and the death of a loved one. And therefore, greater and greater distance comes between you and the life of someone you love and miss. If you think of time as a series of days in a row, all you're doing is getting further and further from someone you cherish. Consider instead the spiral of time. First of all, moving on is a capitalist fiction. Grief is unpredictable. Grieving is unproductive. What if you could call in grieving to work in the way that you can call in sick? I wouldn't have come to work for a year. I mean, maybe, like with you, but if I had a different job, I don't know if I would have gone to work for a year, if that was permitted. We don't move on exactly in a linear fashion. We don't just get further away in the terrible and long march of time away from the lives and the deaths of the people we love who have gone. Consider instead time as a spiral. You will feel, I know, in your own experiences of loss and grief, the times where it feels closer and the times where it feels further away. Birthdays, death days, anniversaries, holidays, the times when memory intensifies. Observances like this, where we slow down the business of everything to remember those we love and that we too will die before we go back out into the world and continue the business of living. Are there times of year where you feel someone's presence closer to you? Are there days, occasions, or if not those, songs, food, memories? Do you ever feel like sometimes it was yesterday? You who are bereaved talk sometimes of the double loneliness. There is the missing of someone, and then there is the fading of their name from conversation. When people you love or people you meet and come to love don't know them, never knew them, or when you see on someone's face the terrible discomfort of speaking about someone who has died. Every week you have a chance to light a candle and say a name. At least once in your week, there is a place, a public place, to speak someone's name out loud. To hear it echo in these walls and in these sounds. The fact of death we cannot change, but the pain of a culture allergic to it, we can. After worship, our adult religious exploration will be a space for you to tell stories of those you love who have gone. But for now, call them to mind. If you often rake away your thoughts of death or loss, this might be very painful, and it might be painful anyway. But it may also be joyous or comforting or sweet. So call this person to mind. What remains? Memories, pictures, resonance, a sense of presence even as memory itself fades. Lessons or guidance or jewelry. If these contemplations bring you pain, remember to breathe. The breath of life is yet and still in you, enjoying its journey through your temporary lungs. We remember those we love who have died. in cherishing their memories, we are more able to taste the sweetness of our own days. Call to mind your own existence, such as it will be after your death. Will you be washed and tended and covered in a shroud, lowered into the earth? Will your body decompose and go to feed the roses? Will it burn quickly, be ground to ash and scattered on the wind? Will your particles be laid by those who love and mourn you in a place you once adored? Will they be able to visit you? Will your name be etched in stone or in memory? When you are gone, will you return with a sigh to your truest home, the eternal mystery? Will you be once again part of everything that is? And because you're not conscious, never able to forget it again. Life built on denial of death is very painful. Life centered on the contemplation of mortality, and indeed the embrace of it, can be a portal to a deeper peace and a deeper presence. Each of us will die. If we're very lucky, we will get old first. We can resist the awareness of death, though not the fact of it. We can hide the evidence, rake the leaves, and then be haunted by it. Or we can welcome the fact of impermanence as the source of the beauty of life, the salt in the soup of our days. Dead leaves are not only foolish to try to get rid of, they are food and shelter for butterflies, beetles, moths, bees. They are essential for compost. When we hide from death, we deny the soil its nourishment. We forget that decay, which is not productive, is regenerative. Our lives are not long marches, and they are not trains or clocks or factories. They are gardens. They are spirals. They are songs that repeat and repeat until they end. This time of year, in this section of the spiral of our days and the turning of our earth, tourists flock to deciduous forests, to glory in the changing leaves, to observe the temporary brilliance made possible only by the fact that the leaves fall. We too can allow the fact of the end to render our days that much more precious. The glory of autumn is precisely the fact that it does not last. I don't look forward to dying, or to any of my loved ones dying, or to any of you dying. But the alternative, where nothing ever dies is so much worse. Every story I ever heard about heaven as a place where we kind of live forever terrified me to no end. The pictures on our altar are such a gift. And part of a confusing truth, which is the fact of each loss is terrible. But that our lives don't last forever is an extraordinary gift. I don't find this cheerful, but I do find comfort in it like a sad song. May it be so for you, and so for us all. Amen. We rise in body or in spirit for our hymn of response, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning.
Our offering this month is split with Rustin's Reunion. Rustin's Reunion is a twice-annual multicultural LGBTQ+ convening that centers the lives and leadership of Black LGBTQ+ communities living in Guilford County. The gathering builds on the lineage of Bayard Rustin, the radical Black queer strategist who designed the famous 1963 March on Washington. By reclaiming Black queer leadership as essential to bringing people together across diverse backgrounds for the purpose of resisting injustice and creating a community where everyone can thrive. If you'd like to make a contribution for our offering to be split with Rustin's Reunion, You can do so at the link in the description of this video. You can text GIVE to the number in your order of service. You can also mail a check or put cash in the basket. Ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. And there's no sickness, no toil or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. He said he'd meet me when I come. I'm only crossing over Jordan. I'm only crossing over home. I know dark clouds gather o'er me. I know my ways are dark and steep, but beautiful those fields before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm only crossing the river Jordan. I'm only crossing over home. I want to wear that crown of glory when I get round to that good land. I want to sing that hero story, playing in that pilgrim's band. I'm going there to see my family. They said they'd meet me when I come. I'm only crossing the river Jordan. I'm only crossing over home. I'm only crossing the river Jordan. I'm only crossing over home.
Will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words? we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Teachers may go now to their classes with our blessing. If you're online and you'd like to get more connected, click the link in the description of this YouTube video and fill out our contact form on our website. If you're in person, fill out a pink card at the visitors table or use the link on our website to connect with us. Adult religious exploration will be in the sanctuary. Here, we'll use a microphone. There are a few announcements that you can explore for yourselves in your order of service. I just want to draw your attention to next Sunday, right after the service. There's a parent group meeting in RE 45. And the purpose of this meeting is for parents of kids 0 to 12-ish, but I think that's not a hard stop, to get together, vent, support each other, share how you're doing, form community, and we can also discuss what parents need from this group. Child care will be provided. You can contact Caroline Kernahan if you have any questions about that. So that's next Sunday after service during the adult RE hour. In the spiral of time, may the beauty of the leaves remind you that we glory as we fade. May it be so for you. Go in peace. Amen. Place your hands over your heart for our benediction hymn, Shalom Haverim. It's a Hebrew song that means peace, dear friends. Until we meet again. Haverim Shalom, Haverim Shalom. Shalom, lahitrayot, lahitrayot, shalom, 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 avarim, shalom, avarim, shalom, shalom, lahitrayot, lahitrayot, shalom, shalom.